Well, breaking news coming in at the moment that there's been an earthquake in the Delhi-NCR region and tremors that have been felt. These are very strong tremors that we felt. In fact, I was just minutes ago, it was a very long earthquake that lasted a couple of seconds. In fact, it felt really long and it was very, very strong, and we could feel the tremors right here in the studio of NDTV in the Delhi-NCR region. This earthquake that hit the Delhi-NCR region just seconds ago, literally about a minute ago. A very long, a very strong earthquake that has been felt in the Delhi-NCR region. So we're talking about an earthquake in the national capital region, and a very strong, a very powerful earthquake that was just felt here in Delhi. And details emerging as far as the earthquake is concerned. Very strong tremor. These are tremors that have been felt all along. To know where this originated from and details about this, we have Pallav Bagla joining us. Pallav, I was anchoring and, I could feel it, literally could feel it for a very, very long time. Take us through the details of what you have at this point in time. Of course, this is very initial in regard to the earthquake. Where did it originate from, and, how strong was this earthquake?
But what we can tell our viewers is that at 5 minutes past 9 o'clock, 3 sharp tremors were felt in New Delhi. That is where I am based. And the tremors lasted for a few seconds. It's very hard to say what is the origin, what is the center of the earthquake, and what is the magnitude as of now. The Indian Seismology Center will monitor and send that information out. But this earthquake was felt strongly, and the tremors went on for a few seconds. And like all tremors which happen in capital, they always send a shiver down people's spines, because northern India is very prone to earthquakes, because most of northern India lies in seismic zone 4 like Delhi does. And tremors, when they are felt in large cities, people always get very anguished about that. But as of now, I don't have reports of any damage or loss of life. Those kind of details would emerge. But yes, at 5 minutes past 9 o'clock, the tremors were felt in Delhi of an earthquake which lasted for a few seconds. And I at least counted 3 sharp tremors or 3 sharp waves going through the area where I am based.
A very strong earthquake that was felt, and like Pallav Bagla is saying, that there were 3 strong tremors that were felt here in the national capital, that struck this area. Tremors that were felt across several parts of northern India, not just here in Delhi. The quake shook buildings and prompted residents to rush outdoors, but there has been no reports of damage or injury yet. But the kind of tremors that were felt were extremely strong. In fact, from here in Noida, the NDTV office also felt the tremors. Pallav Bagla, take us through exactly your location and if you could feel the tremors while you were home this morning.
The tremors were felt. These kind of tremors, whenever earthquakes have happened, I have felt them several times. It's very hard to say whether they were stronger than earlier or lower in strength by earlier magnitude. It all depends on where the center of the earthquake was, the seismic center, and what is the depth of the earthquake. But yes, the entire northern Indian region is very prone to earthquakes, because we have a big Himalayan fault right north of Delhi, and that Himalayan fault can cause very large earthquakes. So fortunately, this did not seem to be one of those big earthquakes which the northern Indian region has been waiting for. But we are still await details from the Center for Seismology of India, which would have monitored, and they would be giving out the details very soon.
Right. We also have our colleague Anushka joining us to get us the very latest. Anushka, from what we're hearing is 4.1 on the Richter scale is the kind of earthquake that hit not just Delhi and the NCR region, but the many parts of northern India as well. Take us through how strong, because we did feel it. It felt extremely powerful. It did feel like it was a long earthquake, because one could feel it for quite a few seconds, to be precise. Anushka, what details do you have for us?
That's right, Divya. Strong tremors were felt in Delhi-NCR, and what we are learning by now is that it was on the scale of 4.1. Now, this is not the first time that such strong tremors have been felt in Delhi-NCR. We are seeing that quite often we see such kind of tremors. On Richter scale also, we are seeing that this was a tremor that jolted the entire Delhi-NCR area. And now, because we do know that it's an office going hour and there are a lot of people who are in fact on their way to office, so we do see by now that a lot of commotion can be seen outside the offices. A lot of people have in fact left their buildings because of the tremors that were felt in Delhi-NCR. It has been said by the IMD, the initial details that are coming are indicating that it was a 4.1 on Richter scale and strong tremors. In fact, three tremors were felt. One earthquake when the earthquake happened. One was the earthquake, tremors, and the other was after the earthquake that usually come, in mere seconds after the earthquake, happens in some regions. Over to you.
Right, Anushka, let's just also get in Pallav Bagla, who has been getting us all the very latest on this. Pallav, details have started to emerge, and we're talking about a 4.1 earthquake, on the Richter scale as far as this earthquake is concerned. It hit Delhi and the NCR region at 9:04 a.m. this morning. And of course, this is in regard to, it really lasted quite a few seconds like we've been discussing. Take us through, what does it really mean when we talk about a 4.1 on the Richter scale? How powerful was this earthquake?
As of now, I have no confirmation. I always get the message from the Institute for Seismology. If it was a 4.1 magnitude earthquake, then I can safely say that it would not cause too much damage, because usually damage occurs when earthquakes are of 6 and higher magnitude. So a 4.1 magnitude earthquake should be a wake-up call for cities in the northern Indian region who need to be more and more secure and be less vulnerable to earthquakes. But a 4.1 magnitude earthquake, I'm presuming if it is that, then it would not cause too much damage in most places, because this is not a very high magnitude earthquake. If it is 4.1, I still don't have confirmation of that. I'm awaiting the details, and also depends on what is the center for the earthquake. If it's very close to Delhi, then one can expect some damage. But if it's farther, like normally it happens in somewhere
Right. No damage has been reported yet, but it's very, very initial. We're talking about just 10 minutes ago is when this earthquake that struck Delhi. And from reports that we have at the moment, Anushka joining us to get us the very latest. Anushka, we just heard Pallav Bagla say that this could not have been a very powerful earthquake if it was 4.1 on the Richter scale. Take us through, the latest that you have and the areas of concern, particularly where did it originate from, if you have any information, the areas that it has impacted, particularly in the northern part of the country. Pallav Bagla there will also be, getting us details. Pallav, when we talk about 4.1, you said could perhaps not have been that powerful, but if it was very close to Delhi, if the epicenter was very, very close to Delhi, does it really matter what the reading on the Richter scale is?
It does matter. If it is close to Delhi, 4.1 can cause some damage to buildings. But usually a magnitude 4 earthquake would not cause the kind of widespread damage or loss of life. But these are very, very early times, and we still need to get the final readings from the Center for Seismology, which is the key monitoring body of India's earthquake. And we need to know where the center for the earthquake was. That would, the epicenter of the earthquake was. That would decide whether there would be any damage in that close area, because a 4.1 magnitude earthquake will not cause damage in areas which are far away from the epicenter. So if it was very close to Delhi...
these are unconfirmed reports that we have at this point in time that perhaps the epicenter of the earthquake could have been in Haryana, which is very, very close to Delhi. It could have perhaps been in Jhajjar of Haryana, and that really means that the epicenter was rather close to Delhi, and it took place at a depth of about 14 kilometers. Now, these are unconfirmed information that we have for you. at this particular point in time. So details emerging in regard to this, and Arjun also joining us to get us the very latest. Arjun, take us through the details that we have in regard to this 4.1 magnitude of earthquake that struck Delhi and adjoining areas, and not just the NCR region but the northern part of the country at 9:04 a.m. this morning.
That's absolutely correct. The prelim reports that we're in fact getting are that a 4.1 magnitude earthquake has struck in Haryana's Jhajjar, where the epicenter is purportedly, and the tremors were felt as far as 100 kilometers. Standing here at the NDTV headquarters in Noida, my entire team, in fact, including me, we could feel the tremors. We are picking up more information, but one thing is very clear, that the tremors have been felt more than 100 kilometers away from the epicenter, which is right now purportedly Haryana's Jhajjar. It's very, very close to Millennium City, Gurgaon. For our viewers just joining in, for perspective, we started getting reports of this purported earthquake around 9:04 a.m. The epicenter is purportedly Haryana's Jhajjar, which is very close, in fact, to Millennium City, Gurgaon, and even Delhi. And let me underline once more, the tremors of this earthquake, this purported earthquake, were felt as far as Noida and even farther in other areas of North India. Back to you.